Today, the high temperature 102. So yeah, tomorrow there's your relief by 2 degrees. A little bit more relief by your Friday, back towards the upper 90s, but still, we're well above the average. We consider the normal there, 93, even since the first day of summer. That was on your Monday, 98 degrees then. So yeah, it's been hot, and it's going to remain nice and hot. Triple digits are the trend throughout the valley. You are looking at the view from the Century Wheel here at the Kern County Fair. We're moving on this thing too. It's like a romantic date I'm having with my photographer, and I'll tell you about the date weather at the fair coming up after the break. I can show you the radar picture as it came down from the canyon along the 178. So we did have a chance of storms in the mountains today, and some of those storms, one of those storms in fact, came right on down the mountain. Basically came down the Kern Canyon from Lake Isabella, the Kernville area, and that is what really spawned what a lot of people thought were tornadoes. Not really tornado. The winds weren't strong enough, the rotation was not strong enough, but again, a lot of lightning strikes as it passed through the east side of Bakersfield, all towards Bakersfield Country Club, and then down towards Arvin, Lamont. And now it's kind of just fizzling itself out.
I think it was 100-degree temperatures. This is something
yeah.
we don't deal with.
That's good.
A chance of rain we can deal with. You know what else I can deal with?
Yeah, you like this?
I really want you to show off that tie.
I'm bringing my grandpa's clothes back right here.
Look at that.
A little bit short, a little bit wide.
Skinny ties. Kurt says no to the skinny tie trend. He's going as wide as possible.
Wide and as short as possible.
You know, on the way down here too, we did hit some patches of some heavy rain in the 99 and even some minor flooding along that roadway, which did cause some hydroplaning. We're basically right where we were today, maybe a degree cooler, smoky sunshine out there for the valley and the mountains too, and cooling off majorly for your Friday. It's a little bit breezy in the mountains and the desert though as we transition between the two air masses, the very hot and the slightly more mild air mass there that'll give us temperatures back into the mid-90s, and then by Saturday, break out the grill. It's a super Saturday. This is the 12th day in a row with the triple-digit temperatures. It's been in the triple digits since July 24th. We haven't seen the mid-90s since July 20th, so this is going to be a very welcome change to finish off your work week.
And now taking a look at Kurt and a friend there.
Yeah, I got my new pal Trigger here from the SPCA, and he needs a home. But first, he's going to help me out with this weather forecast because we're talking warm temperatures out there. Right, Trigger? This is nature, and he shares this land with the local wildlife up here and is happy to get out of LA and do so anytime. Live in Bear Valley Springs, unofficial mountain lion country, I'm Kurt Kelsey, 17 News.
Welcome back. Kurt Kelsey delivering on a fantastic forecast.
Got some good news here, and I couldn't be more happy, especially going into the weekend. This weekend, fantastic. Next week, even more fantastic, or still fantastic, whatever way you want to think about it. But we do still have some of that smoke out there, too. The Soberanus fire, the onshore flow kicking in some of the smoke here into the Central Valley, and we're still having it. It's high up in the sky. It's not down at ground level. So I guess that's the one good piece of good news. And the other piece of good news is these temperatures. 96 right now at Meadowsfield Airport. Smoky sunshine there. Elsewhere around Kern County, we are dealing with the low 90s in Buttonwillow. We're around the mid to low 90s really throughout the South Valley. 83 in Fraser Park, 82 in Tehachapi. Fantastic. 93 in Lake Isabella. The only triple-digit temperature here, 102 out in Ridgecrest. They'll likely see that again tomorrow too, but we're anywhere from 5 to 7 degrees cooler this hour than we were 24 hours ago, 4 to 5 degrees cooler in the mountains. What a day, and this day will continue, really these temperatures will continue throughout the next 7 or 10 days. Clear skies in the pinpoint satellite and radar, not a cloud in the sky for us here. And we just have a very weak area of low pressure in Northern California. Actually did spark up a few showers around Redding this afternoon, and the bigger area of low pressure, really the culprit for these cooler temperatures, is going to remain static here right off the coast of Washington. And as it does so, it's kind of just like a pinwheel spinning these little pieces of energy right to the south of it, continuing to give us this onshore flow. Each time a little piece of energy comes down into Northern California and Oregon, it will reinforce our cooler air and it will keep our temperatures into the 90s. So your Saturday looking absolutely superb. 96 in Bakersfield and Shafter, 97 in McFarland. Delano, you're at 97 in Wasco too. There, 99 towards Arvin. A little bit warmer down there. Mainly 80s in the mountains and then low 90s for the Kern River Valley. And then out towards the desert, we are looking at upper 90s and 103 yet again in Ridgecrest. Air quality tomorrow, unhealthy for sensitive groups, but almost in that moderate range. AQI at 105 in the 7-day forecast. I mean, it just keeps on getting better and better. Now it warms up a little bit there for your Monday, Tuesday, but then right back down to the mid-90s for next week. So like I said, those little pieces of energy keeping our temperatures nice and comfortable throughout the next 7 days, really and beyond. 80s in the mountains. You're going to be looking at some breezy conditions, especially through the mountain passes for the next 7 days in the Kern River Valley too, but not terrible, and temperatures obviously not terrible at all, in the low 90s there. So quite a fantastic forecast here for
5 to 7 degrees lower than yesterday, but 10 to 12 degrees lower than last Friday.
Week, exactly.
Right?
Last Saturday we were at 111, so this Saturday a whole lot better.
And Kurt's been all smiles since he found out that we were going back to the 90s, because he knew that he was going to be more likable.
Well,
It's hard because you're already so
likable.
Keep the gifts
Yeah.
coming.
He's
Checks,
lovable,
anything.
you know.
That's right. Kurt the flirt.
There you go. As long as we're not flirting with triple digits.
There you go. All right, thanks, Kurt. New at 5:30, the tides are changing and the water is rising on the Kern River.
4 years of drought have left spirits, well, dried up in the Kern River Valley. Rafting companies that once roared down the killer Kern could only sit back and watch their equipment collect dust over the past couple of summers. But as 17's Kurt Kelsey will show you now, it's all changing up in the Kern River Valley. Kurt?
That's right, Jim. Forget last summer. The water in the Kern River is back and better than ever. Well, better than recent years anyway. It's a sight to see and feel. Water is life, and life is beginning to thrive once again in the Kern River Valley. Precious snowmelt turning into raging rapids, slowly filling Isabella Lake.
Water is the lifeblood of the Kern River Valley up here. And I've always said in the last 30 years that the economy of the valley rises and falls with the level of the lake and the river. So this year the river is back, the lake is back, and when you're in a tourist area that's dependent on water, sometimes you have low water years and you just kind of have to hold on. This is nature, and we're actually at the mercy of nature.
2 more. Keep going, keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going.
Missing multiple years' worth of snowpack in the Kern River watershed, which includes Mount Whitney, the tallest mountain peak in the lower 48 states, has really put a damper on things up in the Kern River Valley. But that is about to change.
This year is phenomenal, and to put it in perspective, we have more snow up on Mount Whitney than the last 3 years combined. So we are really excited. The buzz is really good right now, and as you can see, it's like an old friend that's come back.
High hopes for this season along the banks of the river and lake look promising.
Keep going, keep going.
Rafting companies like Kern River Tours that didn't open the past 2 years for the first time in 40 years of business are already springing into action, tuning up their vehicles and blowing up their rafts.
Yeah, the season we anticipate being very good. There's a lot of pent-up demand. A lot of people have been calling for the last 2 years. And for us, we decided not to open the last 2 years. And so a lot of our customers are very much excited to go and chomping at the bit to get back out there.
So are you ready to raft? Tom Moore of Sierra South Mountain Sports says the peak months for the Upper Kern River are right now, May, June, and July. And for the Lower Kern below Isabella Lake, June, July, and into the first part of August. One last thing, and even rafting experts do it. You don't have to wear toe shoes when you're rafting, but you do have to wear a life jacket and a helmet.
The water's going to be much higher this year, and from a safety standpoint, never get into the river without wearing a life jacket, and a good life jacket.
As for the flow, the Upper Kern is flowing at about 800 cubic feet per second. The lake is currently holding around 91,000 acre-feet of water, which is the highest it's been since late June of 2013, and there are estimates of it rising to near 200,000 acre-feet by mid-June, falling just shy of the 2012 peak level. And if you're not into hitting the rapids, a day sitting lakeside with a tube or kayak might be what you're into. Just remember to be responsible, take only pictures, and leave only footprints. Kurt Kelsey, 17 News.